Hey guys, it's Ryan here from Fat to Fit. Welcome to another video. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to everybody. It's very, very warm here in New Zealand, so I apologise for the sweating. Christmas, typical Christmas, so much food. I try and tell people like not to feel worried about Christmas because everybody has to have a blowout. The problem is I've had a blowout for the last 4 days or 5 days. Which is normal, it's natural, most people do it. So I weighed myself, and from where I was before, I've put on around 5 kilos. So I was 136, it's where I've been up and down, but we're near enough there for the last, say like year and a bit. And now I'm 141.1. So I'm starting my weight loss back up again. It's pretty normal for me to do this. But obviously with it being the new year coming up, there's a lot of people who are interested in losing weight. It seems to be the #1 New Year's resolution is to lose weight and get fitter and stuff. So I'm gonna give a couple of tips of like where I would start if you're a beginner. If you're not a beginner, then you probably already know where to start. So I wouldn't worry too much about it if you're not a beginner because you'll remember these things, but it might be useful for you as well. So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips that if you follow them for the start of January, you'll see some good results. So yeah, let's get into it. So my first tip would be aim for 10,000 steps a day. So if I've got an Apple Watch, but you can use it on your phones, and plenty of apps you can download that'll track your steps roughly. But if you've got a Fitbit or anything like that does it for you as well. 10,000 steps a day. So basically 10,000 steps a day burns on average 500 calories on average. So if you think you do that for 7 days, you're going to burn 3,500 calories per week, which is around about 0.5 of a kilo, so half a kilo of body weight. So you can lose that weight just from walking. So that's why 10,000 steps a day is like really good. And if you're busy during the day, like if you're working or whatever, it's really easy to achieve. But if you're, if you're sitting at a desk a lot, it's going to be more of an effort for you. But just try and get it done. It's a really easy way of getting out there, burning some calories. The best thing about it is really good for your mental health, especially like nowadays with everything going on. It's really beneficial for your mental health. So if you're in the UK or in America or wherever and it's cold, get wrapped up. You'll soon warm up. Get yourself out on that walk. 2 walks a day, 5,000 steps each day, and you'll be sweet. So that's my first tip. My second tip is I'm kind of being hypocritical when I say this one because for me, I never followed this tip. My second tip is to start off small. So make small changes. So you know yourself and you know what you like to eat. You know your habits. You know your bad habits and your good habits. And what most people do is they will cut out everything all at once, and which is what I did when I lost weight the first time. But the problem with that is you end up piling it back on again because it's not sustainable. So although it worked for me, I still now have them down days where I just want to binge and eat crap. So yeah, if you're eating chips and chocolate all the time, just find an alternative. Like I used to eat, I still eat now, 0 sugar chocolate. You can buy 0 sugar chocolate, 0 sugar gummy worms. Like there's so many substitutes out there that you can eat. So just start off small, make small changes because these small changes add up over time. So remember, you got to January and you want to lose all this weight, but it takes time. So just take your time with the process and start off small and work your way up from there. Once you've incorporated these good foods in, the main thing is you need to find what your total daily energy expenditure is. So you can go onto Google and just type in TDEE calculator, and it will calculate how many calories that you need to survive every day. And then you can break that down to, like, if you're very active, exercising 3 times a week, it'll tell you how many calories you should be eating. So it'll give you a rough idea of where you need to be on your eating plan. If you want to go for a deficit, 500 calories, no more than 500 calories below your maintenance, and then that's a good place to start. And then really, I mean, you can lose weight, you can eat terrible food and lose weight as long as you're in a calorie deficit. There's this whole thing around it. It's very simple. If you're eating 2,000 calories, but you're burning 2,500 calories, then you will lose weight. It's as simple as that. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. That's how it works. So small changes, but then you need to keep a track of what you're eating. So you need to count your calories, which is such a horrible thing to say. I know people hate doing this stuff, but count your calories, because most people eat similar foods or eat similar meals. So if you know what calorie content that certain meal has, you can use different apps out there that you can scan the codes and stuff. And then you can save the meals, so you can save them on the app as a meal. After a few weeks of doing this, you're gonna know exactly or roughly the calories in a certain meal, so you won't have to track it anymore. So I tracked calories for maybe 3 weeks, and since then I haven't tracked calories, because I'm roughly able to know. If I'm really strict on a diet, like, I will count calories, but as long as you know your total daily energy expenditure and you figure out the calorie coming in for the first couple of weeks, after that you will be able to be in a deficit and you won't have to count calories. But that's the main thing, calorie deficit, and watch what you're eating. It's always best, like, my advice would be to eat whole foods, because like I say, even though you can lose weight from eating crap, whole foods enrich your body, it gives you more energy, you have more up and go. Like, that's what I find all the time. Like, when I have a week of eating whole food, like, my energy levels are so high, and if I eat crap, I feel like crap. And that's the thing. So try and eat whole foods. Anything like that doesn't come out of a packet. Like, some things come out in packets that are still, like, they're classed as processed, but they're not. You know, like chicken, most of the time you buy a chicken, it's in a box, it's classed as processed, but as long as there's no extra ingredients. A good rule of thumb to use, if it's got 5 or more ingredients on the packet, then it's not whole food. So just check the packet. As long as there's only a couple of ingredients in there, no random shit that you don't know what the name is, then you'll be good for that. So my next tip is exercise. Now, this is pretty obvious. Most people go out on the 1st of January, they will get a gym membership, and they will go 3 times and then they'll use it. There's a stupid statistic, I'm not even going to say it to you, but it's something ridiculous. But it's true. Like, I have been there. I've had multiple gym memberships, and all of them I've had a stint where I've not gone. And it's just normal. Like, whether you're just getting into a gym, or you've never been before, or you're just trying to get back into it, sometimes it's daunting. Like, especially for me, like, when I was a lot bigger, it was very daunting for me to go in there. I felt like everyone was looking at me, and it's worrying. But the thing is, you don't have to spend all this money on a gym membership to exercise, you know. And bodyweight exercise is one of the best ways of doing it, and all you need is a chair. Like, most people got a chair at home or a curb or something. You can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, you can do dips. There's so much stuff you can do through bodyweight exercises, and there's so much stuff on YouTube where it will teach you how to do this stuff. Honestly, you don't need to join a gym. If you want to join a gym, kudos, good for you, that's awesome. Just make sure you go in there with a plan. So I'd advise you exercise about 3 times a week to start off with. That's because sticking to it 5 times or 6 times a week or every day, not only is it's not consistent at the moment, it will be in the future, but it's not consistent right now. You can't go from nothing to doing all that. Your body just you'll end up injured. So I would start off with 3 times a week. This is just my advice, but I would start off with 3 times a week, and I would just try and either do full body 3 times a week, and just do higher volume, lower weight, so you get used to it all. If you're a beginner, if you're intermediate and you already know how to lift, then chances are you've already got a plan, or you've had a plan before, and you'll create a new plan. But if you're a total beginner, learn how to use the equipment. Don't worry about asking, or download one of these free apps that show you how to do all these different exercises. But just learn, go in there, get familiar with the equipment, and don't just stand on a treadmill. Because cardio, although cardio is good for your heart, it's not going to help you necessarily lose fat. Because what happens is, with cardio, if you go extreme on cardio, your body will start stripping the muscle as well as the fat. And this is why resistance training is so important. So when I say exercise 3 times a week, I mean resistance exercise. So not running or jogging or walking, I mean resistance exercise. So what happens is your muscles will tear, in simple terms, your muscles will tear during resistant exercise. Then your body will repair their muscles and they will come back stronger. But for your body to repair the muscle, it uses energy. Now, if you're in a calorie deficit, your muscles need repairing, it will use the stored fat. If you're doing cardio for fat loss, your body is just trying to be as efficient as it can be. So it will take any sources that you have to be able to fuel your body. You will lose muscle, and that's not what you want. You want to keep the muscle, because the more muscle you have, the more calories that muscle will burn, the more fat you'll lose. So that's why resistance training is important. Cardio is important. If you're doing 10,000 steps a day, that's a really good starting block. I do Orange Theory a couple of times a week. In New Zealand there's an F45. I'm not sure in the UK, there'll probably be Orange Theory as well. A couple of them HIIT classes at the gym. That stuff's really good because it's cardio mixed with resistance training, so it's really good as well. So as long as you're doing resistance training, that's the best way to lose fat, as well as the calorie deficit. Don't get me wrong, I do like cardio. I do enjoy, I used to run. I did the 11K this time last year, or January last year, and but usually the rule is do your normal cardio, but make sure you've got your resistance training, because that is what's going to aid fat loss. My next tip will be to save you money. Stay away from supplements for the first month. Now, the problem is with this is that you start being healthy, you go online, you'll search a gym or something, and the way that the Facebook works and all that sort of stuff, you'll start getting bombarded with supplement shops. You know, buy this supplement, buy that supplement, buy this supplement. Don't fall into the trap of buying this stuff that doesn't taste good and that makes no difference, because you're just starting out, so you don't know what this stuff does. The way that we work as humans is we will try something, and if it doesn't work, we will usually forget it and move on. To alleviate that is to learn. So what you want to do in that month's time is, you're going to be bombarded with these supplements anyway. So what you want to do is you want to research these supplements and what benefits they are to you. The main supplements for me that I would say that are important are creatine. I won't go through the benefits of creatine on here, but there's plenty of scientific research around creatine. Multivitamins, to make sure that you're getting everything that you need, and also fish oils, which you can buy as a supplement as well. Tied in there with the multivitamins, you can get the omega-3 from fish if you eat fish, but a lot of people don't, so a supplement is really good. Protein powders are really good, but they're only good if you understand why they're used. So when you get further into your journey, let's say, and you lose your body fat, you're starting to build your muscle, you're going to start hearing noise about macros. So macros are just basically macronutrients. It's split into 3 tiers. So you have your carbohydrates, your protein, and your fats. Now, they give you there's so many different numbers, but the main one that I see is if you times your body weight by 1.6, that's how many grams of protein you should eat. That's the best amount of protein that you should eat. So that's where it comes in, because for me, if I've had a busy day at work, I haven't been able to get the protein in that I need. I can take 2 scoops of protein and boom, I got 50 grams of protein straight away. That is the only benefit. Protein powder, creatine, none of these supplements will turn you into an animal or turn you into a world-class bodybuilder. It just doesn't happen. And you have to understand how they work before you end up buying them. You can't just go out and buy them, it's just pointless. It doesn't make any sense. So do the research before you buy it, otherwise you're gonna have a cupboard full of crap that you don't know what to do with, and then in a month's time you're gonna throw them away, or they're gonna go stale anyway, and you've just wasted your money. So speaking about wasting your money, stay the fuck away from shakes and fucking Slim Fast and Herbalife and all this crap. Do not touch it. It's not good for you. A balanced diet, a whole food diet is what you need. And it might be controversial, but trust me, as someone who's done them all, do not do them. They're a waste of money. They do not work. they're ridiculous. So let's just move on from that. And my final tip is to remember your why. So everybody has the reason why they're doing something. So like my reason why was partly because I hated how I looked, which I still struggle with self-confidence now. But the main thing was like I was very ill, back pain, close to having diabetes, very, very close. On my blood sugar levels and glucose levels, I was very close to having diabetes. So for me, it was something that I had to do. So if you're in the same boat and you've already got your why, medical reasons, you want to live a little bit longer. If you've got 10 kilos or a stone or two to lose, you need to find your why, and that why needs to be more than because I want to lose a bit of weight. Because if that's your mentality now, it will disappear, and I can promise you that, because I have had more failed attempts at diets because I didn't have a why then I've got fingers on my hands. Honestly, I've done it so many times, and you think that you're doing, or you feel like you should be doing it because everyone else is doing it, but until you find your reason why, you will not succeed in this. And that's my opinion, but to me, you have to have a reason why. That reason why has to haunt you. Every time you go to the fridge, every time you go past the McDonald's, every time you're tempted to do something that you know is not good for you, whilst you're on this diet, the reason why will stop you from doing it. So that's what you should think about. If you have a solid reason as to why you're doing what you're doing, you're gonna be sweet. And the thing is as well, like, you don't have to take everything away. It's all about eating in moderation, right? So, just don't eat chocolate every night, and eat healthier. And it's not just about losing weight, it's about your body. Like, you're gonna be amazed at how different you're gonna feel because you put in the right fuel into your body. It makes a massive difference. But it's not a diet. The problem is the traditional way diet is what you eat. When we talk about like what my diet is, it's not, oh, my diet is an Atkins diet. My diet is what I'm putting into my body. But because of advertisements, propaganda, social media, all that sort of stuff, diet has become a bad word, and it means something. It's attached to something. Keto diet, Slimming World diet, Atkins diet, carnivore diet. It's all attached to certain words which all scream restrict, 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 which means you can't have this, you can't have that, you can't have the other. You don't need to do that. What you need to focus on is your diet, what goes into your body, making sure that 80% of what goes in is whole foods, and you're allowed the 20% of crap. And like I said, this is all my opinion. Like, I'm still big, I'm still nowhere near where I want to be, but at the end of the day, I've lost 35 kilos in the last, and kept it off in the last 2 years. So this year I'll be going down to 120. That's my goal. I'm hoping this month, I'm going back to England in February, so I'm hoping by the end of this month I will be back down to 130, which is 11 kilos this month. And my weight's gonna drop quite fast because, like I say, I was at 136. I'm training 3, 4, 5 times a week, and then I've gone for Christmas, so a lot of that's gonna be water weight. It's gonna drop off very quickly, and then I'll start getting into that normal weight loss. But I'm gonna still put these videos out. This is real life shit. This is not, this is not someone who's ripped, who's a bodybuilder or whatever telling you how to do it. This is coming from a real guy sat in his fucking back room telling you how weight loss is and how to get started. So I don't mind. I'm here to help. If you need anything, you want to ask any questions, let me know. I'm always happy to help. And yeah, just thanks for watching. Drop me a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for the next one.